What's up, girl gang? Welcome back to the girls' room. I'm your host, Clarissa, and I'm so happy that you are here with me. I can't believe I think this is episode 16, which is just crazy. 16 consecutive weeks of showing up. If I can show up for my dreams, you can too. And I am here showing up even when I really don't want to be on camera. So I'm gonna keep it so for real with you guys. I'm having a rough few weeks with getting filming done for my podcast because I don't know, I'm just like not having a great few weeks. I think I'm like really PMSing to a new height. Like my PMSing has reached new levels of psychoticness in terms of just how I'm feeling, and it's been hard, but I'm pushing through. I worked out every day this week so far, which is like really exciting. I've been doing Pilates at home and that makes me feel really good. I'm trying to just keep showing up, doing things for... I swear, as soon as I start talking, like everything starts itching. I have to cough. Like the doorbell rings. There's a van or there's a bus, a truck, a plane, everything outside. Every time I have to talk, like all of a sudden I have allergies. My nose is itchy. Like I don't know what's going on. So yeah, the last 2 weeks have been a little bit rough, but I'm still showing up for myself as best as I can. So even if that's a 15 or 20-minute workout, even if it's a 30-minute podcast episode instead of an hour, I'm just getting it done no matter what. And this is teaching me to be more disciplined, which is something I really struggle with. And last week with my episode not recording audio and having to re-record was kind of frustrating, but I actually didn't get that mad, only because I knew I didn't love the episode. And then I was like, okay, somebody's like looking out for me in the universe, like my ancestors. We're like, you're not putting this episode out because it's not good. Do better. So shout out to like whoever did that. Because then right after that I filmed and like everything was fine and I know everything was plugged in. I'm like, I know it was all plugged in. Anyway, the way that happened was kind of weird, but yeah, it's been just kind of rough. I'm like in this transitional space still, which can be like really exhausting for anybody that's going through some changes in their life, in their careers. Just evolving is really painful. You're shedding a new, or not a new skin. I am never gonna get these phrases right ever. I think I'm like turning into my mom. The more with age, you hear me? With the like, I can't talk today. The older I get, I just like start sounding like my mom, who's got a crazy accent and like is from Honduras. So I don't actually sound like her, but she never gets those phrases right. And I apparently don't either. And I filmed a video before this for my YouTube channel where I just couldn't speak. I was fumbling over my words really, really bad. Trying not to fumble over my words, and I'm also trying to stop using filler words so much. This is something I've done since I was a kid. My teacher used to make me count how many times I said like and or would make me start over every time I said like or and my mom used to get so annoyed with me too. She'd be like, what's wrong with you? Like. And I don't know why I do that, but I think it's a common thing to say literally like, and then be like, and when I'm editing the podcast, sometimes I'm like, sometimes I say it like 10 times in like one sentence. I just did it again. So I'm working on that. You guys can hold me accountable to my likes and my ums. I mean, ums are like different because you're thinking. I almost said you're thinking, but I'm trying to just not say words that I don't need to say in between other words. I am having a difficult time with the English language today. That is for shit sure. Hi, Mama. My little girl is here. Hi, Mama. I love when she's with me when I'm filming because she hates when I film. So yeah, having a rough week, having a rough couple weeks showing up, but I'm showing up. Like I was saying, discipline is something that I've always struggled with. And discipline really does build confidence. Working out today and getting on the mat and just doing a 20-minute Pilates workout at home made all the difference because I knew that I was showing up for the betterment of my body and my mind and just being present as I could be. And sometimes you can't always give 100%, but if you're showing up and you're trying, I had on the Vanderpump Rules after show with my iPad propped up to watch, to do my workout, and it was fine. Like, I wasn't fully focused, but I did it and I got it done and I moved my body, and I'll go for a nice long walk with my girl here. She's not in this camera, but she's in my other camera. I'll, you know, make sure I get outside. I already have, and just and just keep trying to show up because I just don't feel good when I don't. And I've never been a girl that like loves working out. I just don't really love the gym. I never have. I enjoy like boxing and things like that, but just going to a gym and Luna on camera, she said she's starting an OnlyFans. She was just doing something very bad on the other camera. On camera, mommy? I don't like lifting weights. I don't mind it, but I don't like just going to do it by myself. I enjoy having like a trainer or something like that, but obviously that's pricey to do and I can't do it. I love Pilates, but I haven't been back since the trauma that happened to me that day when I went to 7 a.m., which was a few episodes back. I told that story, and I haven't really gone back because I didn't love that studio, but Pilates is so expensive, and our gym closed, which I might have told you guys, and it was the perfect gym. It was like $60 a month, and it literally had everything. So I haven't been able to figure it out, and in turn I haven't been moving my body besides walking. So my girlfriend bought me some weights, some just hand weights for the house, like 3 sets with different weights so that I can do some mat Pilates at home. And I'm so glad she got them for me because I've done it every day this week since they arrived. And I've been doing Pilates by Raven. She's got so much content here on YouTube. She was actually on Love is Blind, for those of you that watch Love is Blind too. She's so funny. I love her on social media. So I said, let me just try some of her classes. So she has so many different ones, 30-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute stretches. They're just great. They're to the point. You can do them. I like to just do a really impactful workout in a short amount of time, and every muscle in my body is sore right now. I love Pilates for that reason, because you really work out all of those tiny muscles that you don't get in just lifting weights, and it's just more my type of workout. I like a lean, feminine sort of body. I'm not saying you can't get that from lifting weights. It's just not my thing. So that's what I'm up to for now, is some mat Pilates and just trying to get some movement in and trying to get myself sort of out of this funk. I know it is hormonal, so I have to keep reminding myself, like, I just have that scene from Knocked Up in my head.
It'd be easier for both of us if we stop fooling ourselves.
You know, I know this isn't you talking, it's your hormones, but I would just like to say, fuck you, hormones. You are a crazy bitch. Hormones, not Allison. Hormones, fuck them. It's a girl. Buy some pink shit.
Nice. You are such an asshole. You know what? Go fuck your fucking bong, you
I will
fuck.
fuck my bong. Doggy style, for once.
Like, that's what I'm saying to my hormones right now, because I know that I'm trying to make space and hold space for myself when I'm feeling like this, and I'm having, like, the amount of sounds that are in this apartment. I'm trying to hold space for myself during the times that I feel this way, because sometimes I just let it overtake me and I take my feelings for facts, and they're not facts. And I know I'm very intuitive and I'm always right. Not for nothing, I really am. Not always, but I'm right when I'm feeling things, or if something doesn't feel right, I know it. But like when I'm in this space, I'm very sensitive, and I need to just recognize it for what it is, which is my hormones are just like out of whack. I'm a woman in my 30s and these things happen. I'm stressed, so it just makes my PMS longer because it's delaying things from going on, from starting, because that's what happens when you're stressed out. You push your period back and it just like sucks. So I'm just reminding myself, and for the men listening that don't have to go through this, please give your girl some grace when she's going through this, when it's that time of the month when, you know, literally we don't have control over our hormones. Like, I think people think that you do. You do not have control of your hormones. You just don't. You can balance them maybe, but we have to deal with this during periods, during pregnancy, during all these things, and it really sucks ass. So just remember that before you get all pissy with your girlfriend because she's being a little crazy. Just let her be. Anyway, so I have been really happy about the weather. It's warming up. It's been beautiful in Brooklyn to like walk outside. It's springy. It feels like spring, which I feel like we've been robbed of our seasons in New York. Like totally, we don't have a real fall or spring, but it's been like pretty warm. I think it was like 70 degrees yesterday, and just walking outside and letting the sun just beat on my face has been awesome. And it's just got me thinking a lot about spring cleaning. And I don't mean actually spring cleaning like your space, which you should do, and I definitely need to do that, like organize and clean and just refreshen my space, because it just feels like there's so much clutter right now, especially in like a 1-bedroom apartment. Try to give stuff away, try to like do all of that. And with that spring cleaning, I think about spring cleaning like your life, spring cleaning more metaphorically, and ways that you can spring clean your life. Like, how can you release things to let new things come in? Because that's what spring cleaning is all about. It's about welcoming prosperity into your life. It's about making space for the new and letting go of the old. They say it's also about like warding off bad luck and things like that. So it's like a fresh start. It's almost in a way similar to what you would think about for like New Year's, but you're more for New Year's like setting new goals, setting new plans, and trying to get that into motion. Whereas this feels more like letting go of things and making way for what's coming to you, and getting rid of what doesn't serve you anymore. And I think that that is super important, to literally spring clean your space and metaphorically spring clean your life. So this can look like many different things. Obviously, in your space, you want to get rid of things you don't wear. If you haven't worn it in a year, get rid of it. If you never use it, get rid of it. If it's just like a tchotchke, like collecting dust, get rid of it, especially if you have a small space. Reorganize your stuff. That's all I want to do, is keep my patio door open, and I can't because there's so many noises. So hopefully it didn't pick up too much on camera. How beautiful is she? My girl. She hates when I film. So spring cleaning your space. Sorry, I got distracted. And just letting go, reorganizing, redo your drawers, redo your closet, redo your kitchen space, all of it. My girlfriend is really good at organizing, so she can do that. I'm good at the cleaning part, so I love doing that. And then metaphorically, spring cleaning your life. So maybe it's time to start evaluating the relationships that you have and how they do or don't serve you. And when I say serve you, I feel like it sounds selfish, but in a way it is, which you should be selfish with your time, your energy, and who you spend it with, which I preach about all the time. And I feel like I haven't had an episode where I really kind of talk about this type of stuff in a few episodes. It's been a little bit lighter, but you should have people in your life that do serve a purpose, and that purpose doesn't have to be like transactional. It just can be makes you a better person. You make them a better person. So it's equally beneficial, but in different ways. Because, you know, I think it's an important thing to also know that not every friend or not every person, your partner, anyone, parent, partner, friend, whoever, uncle, aunt, whatever, is not gonna fill every, I don't want to say need, but they can't be everything, right? So even with a partner, you can't, I think people put crazy expectations on having a partner, that they should be your best friend, they should be your partner in crime, they should fill every like thing on a checklist that a person should be. And I just don't think that that's realistic, which I know I'm kind of getting off the topic here, but I think it is important to say there are people in your life that should serve different purposes as you serve different purposes for the people for the people's lives that you're in. So you might have a friend that's really good at giving advice, that's really good at bouncing ideas off. And then you might have another friend that you can't have those conversations with, or that you don't necessarily want to have those conversations with them because you don't necessarily maybe agree with how, what the fuck? Like, what is that? The sounds are gonna drive me. Maybe you have a friend that you go to for advice. Maybe you have a friend that you just have a lot of fun with. Maybe you have a friend that's great at bouncing ideas off of. You know, everybody is not good at everything, and neither is a partner. Your partner is also just a person. So they're not always gonna need to fill every problem or void that you have. Like, some relationships, they don't feel their partner is necessarily their best friend, but your partner doesn't have to be your best friend. Like, Amanda and I very much feel like best friends, and we are best friends, but I also think part of that is that we're both women, and she understands me in a different way than I've ever felt with any partner. So, and that's because she's a woman too. So especially in relationships that are man and woman, like, men and women are just so different in the way that they view things. So sometimes having that person fill, or expecting them to fill this need or void, doesn't make sense, because you have friends for that. So evaluating the people in your life and making sure that you're mutually beneficial in your friendship, in the way that you can show up for each other, and also knowing the people that maybe don't show up for you, or like knowing where to categorize certain people when you're doing your spring cleaning. And then looking at those people and saying to yourself, you know, I think maybe this friendship has run its course, or this relationship has run its course, and I don't know that it's really healthy for me to be in it. Because sometimes it's hard to cut off relationships when they're long standing, and I know all about that. And it's really hard to let go. So I just feel like you should take a look at that. And if you are growing and blossoming and expanding your life, you have people around you that are also growing and blossoming, because it gets to a certain point where you can't pull everybody out of the gutter, and not everybody wants to get pulled out of there. So, and I shouldn't say gutter, because just because someone's not on your page doesn't mean that they're like in the gutter or they're terrible. It just means that you're on two different pages. Some of them might be in the gutter and terrible, but not all of them. So every situation's different. I just think it does everyone good to really look at those relationships and break them down and see what they're about, and see if you're on the same page, or if you're not on the same page anymore, and then how to move forward. And, you know, sometimes a conversation needs to be had, and sometimes you can just let things drift apart, and a conversation doesn't need to be had because you both understand and you feel it. So spring cleaning your life is definitely starts with who's in it, for sure. The next way you can spring clean your life is with your job, like figuring out if you are in the right place, if you're ready for a promotion, if you're ready to move on, if you are only in that job for comfort, like what's next? Is there a trajectory in this job, in this career, in this thing that is going to come for you? Like, is there like forward movement, or are you capped out? And I don't mean capped out just by money wise, like financially. I just mean it also, there's no more room for growth. You've hit the very top of that ladder in the position that you're in. And this looks so different for everybody. Like someone like me needs mental stimulation constantly, which I did not know until I was really, really good at doing hair and like didn't need any help or assistance. And I just realized I was kind of on autopilot and just, I could do it with my eyes closed. Color corrections were not challenging to me anymore. And I've done some crazy color corrections, and maybe you don't know what I'm talking about, but it's a big color service where you're correcting some fucked up color. It's fully chemistry and color charts and color wheels and knowing what to do. And I was good at that. I love doing it, but it then got to the point where like I didn't even enjoy doing it because it just was like such a headache for very little reward. Like I didn't feel great. I used to feel really good when I would do them, but I was also falling out of love with the job. But I was actually talking to my boss the other day about this because I said I think I enjoyed hair more when I was in my apprenticeship. And sometimes you have to go through things and then get out the other side of them before you like realize other things, because how would I know that until I was out of that? So once I got out of my apprenticeship and I was good, I kind of wasn't learning anymore. And you should be continuing education if you are in the beauty industry in any capacity, taking classes, learning more things. So that's totally on me to not. Well, actually, we did take classes in the salon. I just really wasn't interested. And I could have taken more color classes and things like that, but I truly just wasn't interested in the job anymore. So that's a way for you to look at your job too. Are you learning? And do you need that? Are you one of those people that doesn't need fulfillment out of your career? You just are happy making good money and having benefits and all of the things, and you don't actually need to feel fulfilled. You don't need to love the job. You don't need to love the people in the job. You just want to get paid and go home. And that is totally fine because you can get fulfillment from so many things other than a job, outside of a job. And I think you should. I think everybody should get their fulfillment out of a job or outside of a job, because we equate a lot of our confidence and success, it's like proportional to how we're doing at work and how much money we're making. It's a very common thing, and it shouldn't be, because it's not everything. There's more to life than just working. And we could take note from Europeans for this because there is more to life than work, and you should enjoy your life. And everybody's just different. So evaluating where you stand is super important, and really deciphering if you're in this job for comfort, or if you're in this job because you love it, or are you in this job because it pays you well. And all of it is totally okay. But for those of you who maybe feel like you want more and you aren't fulfilled with your work and you want to be fulfilled with your work, then during your spring cleaning, maybe it's the time that you really evaluate that, and then, start moving some pieces around to start figuring it out so that you can let go of some of the emotions that you have attached and really dive in and just see what's going on with that. Dissect it if you're feeling some type of way. And who knows, maybe for some people it's to let go of that job. And I'm not telling you to quit your job. Disclaimer, disclaimer. I am not, because it depends on your situation and all of that, but it will look different for everybody is what I'm saying. I think also evaluating romantic relationships. It's always a good time to do that, but are you happy in your relationship? Are you in it for the right reasons? Are you evolving as a couple? Are you growing as a couple? Is it just mundane, the same shit all the time? And is that okay for you? Is it not okay for you? There are so many questions that you can ask yourself, especially if you're feeling unsure. But even if you're not feeling unsure, I do think it's very important every once in a while to sit and evaluate where you're at in your relationship, whether this can be applied to all, but right now I'm just talking about romantic relationships. But, you know, especially if you've been together with someone for a long time, just sitting down and you know, holding space for that relationship and just thinking about it. Are you happy? Are you just comfortable? Are you wanting something more and not allowing yourself to have that or experience it because you're scared? Are you happy with the way things are? Are there areas that could be better? Should you guys be doing more? Like, there's just so many ways to break it down, and it will look different for everyone. And if you have any questions or whatever you want advice, like I always say, you can please reach out and ask me, tgrpod.nyc@gmail.com. I love talking about stuff like this. But it's just a good time for reevaluation and really just making sure that you are in things in all aspects for the right reasons for you, because everybody's right reasons will look different. My reasons versus yours will be completely different. I am someone that needs to be fulfilled in every aspect. I want to be fulfilled with my work to some degree, but I want to be fulfilled in my life and my relationship, most importantly. And I am. So that's a good thing. Spring is also the time where it just feels like fresh starts or new things. Like I said, new things coming in. So maybe another way you can spring clean your life is to try something new. Is there something that you've been dying to try, or do you not have any hobbies and you want a hobby? So whether that's taking a class or doing something you haven't done in a really long time. I was a figure skater till I was like 19 or 20. Which is so crazy because it feels like another lifetime now that I'm 34 years old. Always thinking about skating. I miss it. It was my outlet and I really loved it. And I did go skating in the winter once, but that's something that I'm like, I should really be doing it regularly. And I just get like so kind of like halted because of the logistics of everything. The rink is 20 minutes away. I have to walk the dog. I don't have enough time in the morning. And it just never feels like there's enough time in the day. But really, I just don't wake up early enough. And I do wake up at 8 or 8:30 now, which is revolutionary for me. But it's still not that early. Like once the dogs walked, I make my breakfast and all of that. By the time I'm getting down to sit to my computer to work, it's like 10 a.m. So to do more, I really need to be up earlier, but the thought of waking up at like 6 a.m. is just honestly truly painful. But as I get older, I do find that I actually am waking up earlier. I'm just not getting out of the bed. So I need to work on that. But yeah, if there's any hobbies or anything that you want to do more of, I think it's a great time to do something for you. Truly for you. And that's different for everybody, but I don't think it should be, I think that it should be whether it's you take one day of the week where you really allow yourself to actually relax and unplug. That is something that not enough of us do. Really relax and unplug and let yourself just be. And that can just be like watching a show you like, going for a long walk, whatever that looks like for you, reading a book, it depends on what you enjoy, and everybody enjoys something different. So I don't judge, you know, people can be like a little snooty when it's like, oh, you don't like doing like, you don't like reading. Like, no, not everybody likes reading. They just don't. They want to like listen to an audiobook. It is what it is. But whatever that looks like for you, I think you should do it. It's a great time to start something new. So it can be something new in so many different ways. It doesn't have to be a job or a relationship or a friendship or whatever. Maybe you can start some new friendships though. Maybe you find people that are into things that you're into, or maybe you join some sort of class, like a workout class, and you make new friends. There's just so many ways. Maybe you try a new coffee shop in your neighborhood. That's something that I've been wanting to do. I want to try something new in my neighborhood. Like, I don't know how often, maybe once a month, like a new restaurant, because we're creatures of habit, and there's just so much good food in Williamsburg that I'm like, okay, I don't have to go to the same restaurant every time I go out to eat. So that could be a new thing. Or if you have a partner, doing a date night, or with your friends, making sure that you have girls' nights, like prioritizing things that are important to you, because we just like and I'm guilty of it too, we just like let time kind of fly, and it's fleeting, and we don't make plans for the people in our life or the time for the people in our life because we're so busy and it's overwhelming. And I get overwhelmed like so easily. Like, if you ask me to make a plan and it's 2 weeks away, I instantly read the text and I'm like, I can't breathe. Like, and apparently this is an ADHD thing. It's like an avoidant. I don't know if, I don't think it's an attachment style, but it's this like avoidant thing where like, if someone asks me to do something, it becomes like this daunting, crazy thing to me that's not even that deep. And my dad used to say to me, like, sweetie, like, why are you procrastinating that? Like, it's so small. Like, it's going to be done in 2 seconds. It's easy. And I would just feel like debilitated because someone was asking me to do it or asking me to do something. And it's just the weirdest thing. So I'm trying to be better about that. Sorry to all my friends. I get really bitchy whenever they ask me to make plans. If I'm being fully transparent, sorry, Candace. I get bitchy when people ask me to make plans. I don't know what it is. It's not intentional. It's just this weird paralyzed feeling that I feel like someone has their foot on my neck, and it's totally me doing it. It's coming from me. It's not the other person. And I just feel all this crazy pressure that's like not necessary to feel. And it's weird and overwhelming. So make space for your friends, for the people that you love, for your family. I think it's so important, especially with family. I'm trying to be like I've said before, I'm like the peacemaker of my family. Words are hard today. And Amanda's always like, you're so good. You're so good. Like, I'll call my uncle and I'll call my grandma and this one because I'm like, you know, nobody talks to them. So I try to be as present as I can, but it is really difficult for me to do that. So I try my best, but I'm not perfect. So maybe catching up on those like tasks, what is it called? My dad calls it house cleaning. He calls it when he checks things off a list that he needs done, like getting the mail. Please, getting the mail for me is like, you would think you were asking me to go to war. Like, I don't know. You would think you were asking me to like, I don't know, do what, but like getting the mail for me is like, I just hate it because there's always a fucking bill in there. So I don't like getting it, but metaphorically getting your mail, or metaphorically housekeeping. So if there's calls you have to make, if there's things you need to handle, if there's anything like that, spring cleaning is the perfect time to knock those things off the list that you have been avoiding. So make a list of the things, and it can be anything from decluttering. It can be anything from like preparing for something, planning something, calling someone, handling a bill you haven't paid, calling a creditor you don't want to deal with. Anything that's like looming over your head, use the spring cleaning time to reset and clear out some of that metaphorical junk in your life. Cleaning out your inbox, deleting your voicemails from 100 years ago because nobody leaves them anymore. Making your emails not be at like 10,000. Like, People that do that are fucking insane to me. If my email has more than like 4 in the thing, like people like Gen Z do this, like my sister does this. They think they're so cool because they don't answer texts. Like, I can't stand people like that. And then they show you their phone and it's like 3,000 texts they haven't answered. I would literally not be okay. I would just, even if you don't want to answer, I would just have to open the text so that that notification thing is not there. I can't deal with the notification thing. And my sister does that. She's like, oh, I didn't see it. I'm like, you didn't see it? You have 700 texts on your phone that is unanswered. Literally, when you open your phone, there's a red balloon that says 700 and you're telling me that you didn't see it. And then she'll be like, oh, text me on Snapchat. I'm 34. I'm not texting on Snapchat. Snapchat was a thing for me at one point in my life. And now it's like a task for me to use Snapchat. So metaphorically, clean out your inbox. So anyway, spring represents new beginnings, new starts, bringing in fresh energy, and I think we should all really embrace that. So your new start and your fresh energy just might look like something big or something small. Either is totally fine. I just think you need to find what that is for you. And I think you should hold that space for yourself so that you can make way for new things, trying new things, getting out of your comfort zone, going to therapy, working on your issues, and just ironing out the stuff that you want to iron out. I think it's a great time to do that. And it's a great time to welcome this positive energy and really enjoy like this, well, I don't know where you all are, but if you're in New York, enjoying this beautiful weather and taking advantage of the beautiful days that we have and the time that we have, and just remembering that things are not that deep and that you are okay, and just breathing. Just breathing, moving your body if you can, and just preparing for a new season in your life. We just had this eclipse. It's eclipse season. So apparently you're not supposed to manifest during eclipse season, which I need to look up how long this season is. We're also in Mercury retrograde till the end of April. So I'm just reminding you guys of that, because if you're feeling a little wacky like I am, and if things feel off, just look to the stars. It's not the most woo-woo shit I've ever said, but it's true. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, there's a reason like astronomy is like a thing, and it makes sense. Like, we're all influenced by the things around us. Earth is around planets, and those planets and stars influence the Earth, and then the Earth gets influenced. Then the Earth's environment influences us, and then all of it is just influenced. That is my science behind this. So don't forget that these things are going on. I did not watch the eclipse because I didn't have the glasses, and they say sunglasses, even if you wore like a bunch at a time, you really could mess up your eyes, and people did. But I did see really cool pictures and videos of it, and it's so beautiful. I think the last one was in 2016 or 2017. So things do feel different. And it was cool. Like, the whole sky got darker, not dark like it did in some places, but like really like overcast, and there was a lot of shadows and stuff. It was cool. But, you know, things in the world kind of feels like there is change coming, and on big and small scales. This whole Diddy thing, I think, will be the fall of a lot of celebrities, and I'm not going to get too much into that. I think the only thing we wish J-Lo would talk about is Diddy with all the other shit she's talking about. I feel like there's some like Jeffrey Epstein energy around this. There's a lot of human trafficking stuff. His ex Cassie kind of did blow the lid off on this, I think a couple years ago. I have no sense of time. And there has been rumors about Diddy for years about the things that he's into. And I'm not talking about like, I think like there's so much focus on like men in the industry sleeping together. And that's not really like people in the closet in Hollywood. That's not new. Like, and also like gay people are in the world. So like men having sex, like, like whatever they're doing, like whatever. If you're two consenting adults, I really don't give a shit. Like, is it like surprising to some? Maybe, but not really. I mean, other rappers have been talking about this for years. And I said I wasn't going to talk about this, but I clearly am. This has been spoken about. And if you don't oblige, it's a power move where then you're not going to get to the level that you're trying to get to because of the power that someone like Diddy holds. So that's their prerogative to do it or not do it. And some of them did it, and this happens all the time. People trying to climb a ladder in whatever like field, that's not new. People fucking their way to the top, that's not new. So whether it's a man and a woman, two men, whatever, that's not new, and that's not really the point. The memes are funny, but that's not really the point of it all. Like, that's tale as old as time, especially in Hollywood. It's really more the sex trafficking. I feel like between him and the Nickelodeon stuff that's going on, there is this downfall happening where people are no longer putting people on a pedestal, and they want realness and authenticity. And I think there's like not a revolution, but there's something happening where there's like a lot of change going on at once in the world right now. With this like eclipse season and retrograde and spring and all of the things, I just feel change in the air. Lots of change, lots of things coming to fruition. And I think the bad has to come with that too. The bad has to come out so that it brings the good in. I think that that's a good thing, that the veil is kind of being lifted and everybody is more or less starting to see people and things for what they are, and no longer just believing what we are told, and people are taking matters into their own hands and doing their own due diligence. I think that's so important in every aspect, just because you can't trust like media outlets. You need to like do your own research and find things out. So that's all I'll say about that situation. But I do think it ties in, because I think that new beginnings are beautiful and welcoming new energy is beautiful. But to welcome new energy, you have to let go of toxicity and negativity and all of that. And on a world scale, it feels like some things are getting like purged in a sense, and people are just getting like knocked off pedestal. I mean, look at Mace. Mace literally became a priest. Like, he became a priest or a pastor or something. Like, something happened to him. Like, I'm convinced something happened to him. He was one of the best fucking lyricists ever. I loved Mace. And then he was gone and he was a pastor. Like, it's just, it's weird. They've been saying that he had something to do with Biggie dying forever too. So I hope the truth comes out, and I hope the truth will prevail, whatever it is. I just hope it's the truth. So if he's somehow innocent of all of it, I just hope it's the truth. If he's guilty, I hope it's the truth, because we don't get anywhere in this life by lying. It just doesn't do anything. It just makes matters worse. There are just some ways that you can start to revamp your life. Oh, another way, I did think of one. Another way is you can change up your look. So whether that means a new hairstyle, a new haircut. I'm so bored with my hair, but I just don't know what to do with it because I never like it when it's highlighted, and I don't want to make it black again. And I just cut it and I like my haircut. And then I'm like, I'm not going to cut it off again because I always get upset when I cut it off. But cutting off hair, like doing a big cut, is a great way to feel like you've let go of dead weight and energy, because old hair does hold a lot of energy, especially like the oldest hair on your head, which is always towards the bottom. So getting a new haircut, maybe switching up your makeup, maybe switching up your wardrobe. These are all great ways. Like, I really want to incorporate more cream tones and whites, creams, neutrals into my wardrobe. I only wear black, and I'm just like trying to get away from it, but it's so hard to look good in white. But I want to feel a little bit more in my feminine energy, if that makes sense. I've always had a strong personality, and I finally feel like I can be more feminine, and I don't have to, I guess, protect myself. I don't know. They say that when a woman finally feels safe, like with her partner and where she's at, it really allows her to embrace the feminine energy, because you don't have to live in your masculine energy so much, where you're like on guard or feeling like you have to make all the decisions, or you're just kind of like wearing the pants, so to speak, in a way, which I have that kind of personality where I could be that way, and I will run you over if you let me. Like, that's kind of how I am. So I think in my relationship now, I feel safe enough where I can be softer, but it's hard to be softer when you're not used to being a softer person. Like, I'm very sensitive and all of that, but it's hard for me to kind of lean into that like super mellow, soft side sometimes, even though I'm a calm person. I don't know if I'm explaining this in the best way possible, but I think you can get it. And I think I've been like hustling for so many years in my job and just chasing a bag, chasing money, chasing this never ending goal of like a financial place, where I'm finally like trying to learn how to not equate my finances with my self-worth. And in some way that has allowed me to also be softer and kinder with myself, which in turn lets me lean into this feminine side of me. So I don't know if that made any sense to anybody but me, but I think being with the right person helps. And I think reevaluating where you're getting your self-worth from, which has been really hard for me, but I'm working on it and I'm very aware of it. And I know that I am so much more than the money that I make, and I need to stop equating myself to that and just let go and let God and let the universe and just let it be what it's going to be, and trust that I'm on this right path, and being more trusting and being more welcoming and being more loving to myself. It's not easy, but all of that allows me to feel like I'm more feminine and I'm softer. And so in my wardrobe, I would like to also represent that. Like, I'm a graphic t-shirt bun kind of girl, like, and I'm still always going to be that. That's like who I am. But I would like to be someone that can wear a monochromatic cream and beige outfit with a white heels and a white bag, and just have a softer way about myself. So I think that can come through wardrobe and like wearing things that feel pretty and don't feel as masculine. Because my first thing, I've always been a tomboy. I hated wearing dresses as a kid, and it's probably still me rebelling against my mom, because she would always be like, wear a dress, and like make me go to church in a fucking tutu. So it's probably still some of that inner child shit. Can you tell I'm in therapy or no? Some of that inner child shit, like getting the best of me, where I'm like, no mom, I'm not wearing a fucking dress. But then I see other women dressed like in a pretty dress, and I'm like, oh, she looks nice. Whereas I really I'm almost like in dark feminine energy when I'm dressed up. Like, I'm in all black. I look good, like, but I usually look more like just dark feminine, where it's like leather pants and like leather heels and all black and just you get what I'm saying. Like, it's not like a dress or well, sometimes it's a skirt, but it's always black. And I just reach for that. Hello, I'm always in black. So yeah, that's something you can do too. You can revamp your wardrobe. I'm really trying to work on getting pieces that I can just wear always and not have the trendy clothes. Just trying to diversify it a little bit. So I still have my, you know, my everyday, I want to be in a t-shirt and sweats or a cute little matching sweat outfit. But like, I just want like an aloe matching outfit set, like just be like cute, you know? And so yeah. Think about that. Do you want to change your look? Do you want to change how you do your makeup? Do you want to be more in your dark feminine energy? Do you want to be less? Do you want to be more? Whatever it is, it's different for you and it's different for me, but I want to be like a little less edgy, but still cool girl vibes. Like cool girl chic. I'm saying it as if you would look it up on Pinterest. I'm not saying I'm a cool girl, but like cool girl outfits that are still chic, very New York, not like whimsical or frilly or floral, just like chic, cute, put together, a vibe. A matching set is going to elevate your look every time if you get a good matching set. It just does. I don't know what it is. I'm not talking about just a gym set, although that does too, but a matching set like with trousers, with a matching top. I love a good suit on a woman, but it has to be like the right suit and it has to be tailored with like no top underneath, just the jacket. It looks really good. So just feeling like grown, you know, like grown and sexy vibes. That's what I want to feel like. So not too girly, not too cute, because people always think that I'm cute. Like I've always been called, like I've been called cute my whole life, which I am cute. Cute, pretty. That's always been like the words used to describe me, where I just want to be giving like grown and sexy vibes. Sometimes I could still be cute some other days. So anyway, I think that's it for today's episode. I will leave you with my high and low of the week. My low of the week is that my PMS is rearing its ugly fucking head and it's driving me insane. My high of the week is that I worked out every day and my Sephora sale order came. I'll be doing a video on here using the products too as like a bonus episode, so you can watch that. And yeah, I worked out, I'm showing up, I'm making the content, and I'm here. That's always going to be a high of the week for me. I probably say that every week, but being this consistent is such a high of my life. It's great for me. So showing discipline, showing love for myself, being softer with myself, those are all great things despite my PMS rearing its ugly fucking head. So as always, if you guys have topics, questions, concerns, stories you want to share, anything like that, please shoot me an email to tgrpod.nyc@gmail.com, and I will see you guys next week for another episode of The Girls Room. You are in for a special treat in a few weeks. Okay. Love you. Bye.